Thank you very much, Stefan. And now we take a look at what's making the headlines in some of the newspapers across the continent. And we begin with South Africa, that we've just talked about in our news stories a while back, where a terrible ordeal took place on the 27th of August this year and has rekindled bad memories, as you have seen in our African journal. Well, it's about a man who was beaten and forced into a coffin, but was lucky to be alive. Victor Mlotswa, the man in question, explained to News 24 how he felt during the ordeal and said that he was scared for his life. They beat me up, tied me and put me into a coffin, he said outside the Middelburg Magistrates Court in Pretoria, where the two men accused of forcing him into a coffin appeared. The two culprits decided to do the unthinkable act because they accused Mlotswa of trespassing on their farm. Outside the court, members of the ANC, DA and the EFF political parties protested, holding placards which read, "Life sentence for these racists," and "Racism must fall." Moving on to Kenya, the Standard Digital reports that cable cars are expected to be introduced in the coastal city of Mombasa in Likoni from March next year. This is according to Kenya's ferry services, which signed an agreement with a private company to establish the express cable car service across the 500-meter channel. Passengers will soon be flying across the Likoni channel, courtesy of the cable cars, which will offer them a beautiful scenery of the splendid shores and the Indian Ocean. They will have a capacity to carry 11,000 passengers per hour in both directions, and the trip, which normally takes about 10 minutes, will now only take 2 minutes. Unfortunately, the cars cannot carry vehicles or heavy luggage. The ride will cost 20 shillings during off-peak hours and 50 shillings during peak hours. The service is also expected to reduce the long traffic jams in the coastal town by providing pedestrians with an alternative crossing for the channel and, in the process, reduce delays. And finally, we finish with Angola's main news agency, ANGOP, which says that João Lourenço, Angola's defense minister, has conveyed a message of condolence to President José Eduardo dos Santos for the passing away of his brother, Avelino Eduardo dos Santos. In his address note, he said that it's a moment of pain and mourning in the name of the Ministry of Defense and on his own, and that the soul of the late rest in peace. Avelino Eduardo dos Santos died on Tuesday while undergoing treatment in South Africa. However, ANGOP News Agency does not indicate the exact cause of the death.